Mayor Zach, welcome back to welcome to 2019. First off,
Happy New
welcome
Year
back to Mayor's Monday. Yeah, absolutely. Happy New Year. Another nice drive down here to Wisconsin Rapids, and slow time of the year, kind of. Some people say, but you still got a lot of things happening down here in the area.
So the time of year that we always talk about is our off-season planning. So we're always planning for the spring construction season or the summer construction season. When a lot of developers begin their pre-work is now. So this is a good time of year around the holidays, before and after the holidays, to connect with those prospects that we're hoping to get projects underway with come the season where construction, really the heart of construction season, in the summer and the fall.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, I just drove by the site of the YMCA Boys and Girls Club construction. Things seem to be moving pretty good over there, despite the colder conditions that we've been having.
That's right. And the entire Rapids Mall is gone since the last time we talked, or since the last time we actually did an on location. So now they're doing their environmental testing on the site. They had to remove the building and the foundation in order for them to verify that there's not any environmental concerns there. The JCPenney building looks entirely different. They've cut holes for all the windows that'll be around the structure, and they've started adding some of the architectural features to the building. So it's been interesting over the last couple of weeks, a pretty dramatic difference. We just posted some drone pictures on our city's Facebook page, and quite a difference some time makes when you've got heavy equipment in there doing demolition. The VA clinic still remains in their current location until their lease is finalized with the government shutdown. That's challenged some things with their ability to get a lease executed through the Government Services Administration and the VA. So we're very excited to see that site come to fruition, so we'll continue to share updates on that project as time goes on.
Yeah, absolutely. Just another example of how the government shutdown's impacting us on the local level, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we'll have a resolution to that sooner rather than later, but I don't think there's
You're an optimist.
Many
wow.
people holding their breath on that.
No, I was going to say there's not many people holding out hope at this stage.
Right, absolutely. But one thing that we are holding out hope for, one thing we are preparing for, spring election time. I know you have finalized what's going to be a pretty short ballot here in Wisconsin Rapids, but there is going to be a couple of issues on there that I think people will still want to have a say on. We just found out Wood County is approved non-binding referendum questions regarding recreational and medicinal marijuana, just like what several other municipalities and counties had during the midterm election back in November.
Right. Yeah, Wood County was one of the counties that did not have its ducks in a row for those advisory referendums, so we look forward to hearing what the voters have to say on those issues. From a municipal perspective, we haven't had a lot of conversation about it. I know that we had a referral and action referral from a council member and ultimately action as it relates to drug offenses and a graduated schedule when it comes to being caught with drug paraphernalia or other legal controlled substances. And so our fines actually went up last year on a graduated basis. And so I guess we haven't really seen the effects of that. There unfortunately was not a lot of professional opinion on that. It was more of an emotional, here's how we feel we should address this issue, mainly in response to some constituents of those alderpersons that said, I think our fines aren't high enough. And contrary to professional input on that, the council did take action to increase the fees, or the fines in those instances.
Yeah, and it seems like it's an issue right now that at least statewide it's governed this way one place, it's governed this way in another place, or there've been proposed changes, and so it seems like it's an issue that Wisconsin kind of is all over the map on. So I think there's a lot of people that are really looking to the state for some guidance on this issue.
That's right. And I think it's good to have the electorate's opinion, but how do you inform the public, adequately to have an informed opinion when they're showing up to the polls? I think is a concern that I have on any advisory referendum, and I think it'll be interesting to see what happens between now and election day as it relates to those issues here in the county. I know as we've looked at other states around the country, I'm concerned that Wisconsin will be too late to the game, and so it's patchwork of laws and some of those issues. Now I tend to favor local control, especially in issues where it impacts the daily lives of residents, but this is one that I guess will be interesting to see how it plays out, particularly in the state legislature and now with the new Evers administration.
Yeah, absolutely. Because you can just remind the folks again that these questions will not change any laws here in the county. It's just, here's the public, it's basically a formal straw poll. Here's the public opinion, and we're sending the information down to Madison to see what they say, and they'll do what they will with it. Correct?
That's right. That's right.
So we'll be looking forward to that on election day to see how that plays out here in Wood County. But as far as your local races go, you do have one that is going to be contested. Is that correct?
We do. We've got half of our city council seats, so 4 of the 8 are up in the spring. One of those districts is contested. We also have a city clerk. We still elect our city clerk here in Wisconsin Rapids, and so that candidate is actually uncontested. She was the person that was just appointed into the role. The council still opted to have a special election, and for her benefit, I guess, she doesn't have any competitor in the race for that seat.
Job security, I think, is what they call that.
Yeah, right. Mm-hmm.
So which district is it then that you'll have up for election on April 3rd?
District 1, so that's the northwest part of our community.
Okay, and how many candidates then?
Just 2.
Just 2 candidates.
Yep, the incumbent and a challenger.
So that's the only one that will be up for election then. So folks in that district will definitely need to pay attention as the election goes on, correct?
That's right, and the League of Women Voters always do a forum here to pose questions and get some insight as to what the candidates' platforms and agendas might be before election day.
All right, well, we'd be looking forward to seeing how that race takes place as well down here in Wisconsin Rapids as you prepare for the spring election.
Yeah.
Some of the other topics that you just had a city council meeting here recently. Any big news that come out of that here last Tuesday? It
was pretty low political interest, I would say. There's some of these meetings, it's more of a just government business. There's equipment purchases, some HR related items on there. And public works issues. The public works issues right now are always quiet at the first part of the year. The one issue that did get some discussion was we're moving to automated garbage collection this year. Which will result in totes being placed at curbsides instead of the cans or any other variety, or people just placing their garbage at the curb in a bag. So that did get some discussion, because with any change in service such as that, how you provide service to various classes of property is questioned. Case in point, mobile home parks. Townhouses, multifamily, apartment complexes, and that sort of thing, duplexes. And so we'll be launching single stream garbage in the spring, but the ordinance officially was presented for its second reading on Tuesday night. There are some changes, because before we had provided some service to classes of property where we were driving on private property, which is a liability and a concern to the municipality or to the city here. And so I think we've settled on a workable compromise as to the launch of the service. And then depending on our capacity, both in schedule and just the cost to perform that service, we'll assess whether or not we can provide more service to light commercial, perhaps, so small offices, lawyer's office, chiropractic offices, those types of things, insurance offices maybe, that don't generate a lot of garbage or curbside recycling or garbage for collection. So it may make sense for us to continue to offer that or to add that service to those folks.
Yeah, it seems like a small change to people.
Yeah.
It's just one way, that you change the way you put your garbage out. But for those behind the scenes, it takes quite a bit of planning, I take it.
That's right.
And so what benefit then will this have to residents and to those that are handling the refuse, if you will?
Well, to the municipality, our biggest concern has been workman's comp, workers' compensation. So if somebody were to have a slip, trip, or a fall, and so by moving to this collection service, it minimizes the chances of that. The driver's staying in the vehicle the entire time. There's not a can carrier running, and we had all that rain in late December, and it froze, right? It created a lot of ice, and we've got a little bit of snow here and there, and those types of situations really create a lot of risk for the city for injury. And so there's that benefit to the city. So overall, there really isn't a major monetary benefit. We're not reducing the cost or reducing our budget at the end of the day. We are for that service, but we're adding those resources then into road maintenance and other activities within the Public Works and Streets Department.
So then when will folks maybe see their new automated garbage collection show up at their front door?
They'll see their bins in March or early April. Depending on the schedule to get those delivered, and then we plan to launch soon thereafter. We'd like to move into a 4-day garbage collection, so we're running 10-hour days or some variety thereof. So during holiday weeks, we can perform that service Tuesday through Friday as opposed to Saturday collection day. So that'll be a nice enhancement for folks, and then we plan to launch 4-day recycling collection as well. something we're doing on a 5-day schedule right now.
So folks will be looking forward to that in the next couple of months as well. Is there anything else that we should know going on down here in Rapids here this month?
Well, we saw the announcement by Shopko last week as to their Chapter 11 reorganization, their bankruptcy plan, and it was rumored, and there was reports that substantiated it heading into their announcement ultimately, and it's yet another concern as it relates to small communities like ours that don't have a lot of retail presence to begin with. Some people say it's Amazon. It's really a product of long-term trends, right? We just talked about the demolition of our shopping mall, our second and our last, brick and mortar shopping mall that we had in the city, in addition to the strip malls we have throughout town. But, Shopko's announcement, fortunately for us, resulted in the continued operation of their store for at least the foreseeable future. Their pharmacy announcement left a lot of our residents with concern because now while they had to now switch to their prescription pickup to COPS, which in our instance is literally half a block or just down the way as it were in the strip mall, it is a major change, right? And I think folks that don't have access to transportation or don't have a convenient way to get those things, disruption can be difficult. So we continue to watch the situation with Shopko very close. The property they occupy pays a bit of property taxes, and it's a nice piece of our property tax base. So we hate to lose any bricks and mortar retail. So that's one that we continue to watch. And I know a lot of residents had contacted me right away when they heard, is our store closing? Unfortunately, it ultimately resulted in us being off the closure list, which is a nice relief for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, because you don't want to lose those jobs either.
Yeah,
it's not just the convenience of having the Shopko right here in town and the convenience of being able to pick things up when you need them and not waiting 2 days to get them. It's also about those good paying jobs, because those retail stores, it's not just the full-time jobs, it's the part-time jobs as well that really help the communities.
That's right. And retailers are not expanding brick and mortar stores, and when they disappear, they don't often get replaced. And so whether it's the jobs or just the convenience and having the access to those goods and products in our community, it's a concern. Not everybody shops online, and people do want to be able to shop in a retail store setting as well.
So we'll keep our fingers crossed for now that's right. Shopko remains a staple down here in Wisconsin Rapids, and hope for the best and see where that story goes as well.
That's right.
Well, Mayor Zach, we always appreciate the time for these little monthly chats. We'll look forward to doing it again, and maybe next month getting outside and being on location again.
Perhaps. We'll see what the weather does.
All right.
Thanks,
absolutely.
Michael.
Thank you.